Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah. Koholoimla Yahweh. Bahashim Yahushai. Bahashim Hakodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to all the Akim and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh. Bahashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan the Waf. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And this was a lesson I was watching with the elder Malcolm out in Chicago, GMS Chicago. This is his main channel right here, GMS Maccabean Spirit 144. He also has another one, Critical Race Fact, I think it is. That's one of, I know he always putting stuff on there as well. But this is his main channel. But I was listening to this lesson that he had this morning. It was called Hiding the Collapse with Orchestrated Riots. But he was explaining how he was on the bus. He had, I guess he was taking out his new bike as well. Put his bike on the front of the rack, and it was a lady that was driving the bus. But with everything that was going on, with these they saying riots, but the protests, you know what I'm saying, that's supposedly happening in L.A. It's throughout the country in a bunch of different cities now, but it actually, jumped off in Chicago. I'm not sure what day exactly, but he was on the bus, and supposedly a supervisor or whatever got on the bus and some to the extent told the woman bus driver that was driving the bus to go a certain way, and that she kind of got jammed up where it was a small spot where the bus could fit through, but she was scared to do it basically. So the elder was explaining that it was another lady supervisor that got on and told her to move and squeeze the bus through. But basically what the elder was saying was that this lady is not fit for this job, and she wasn't, from the way that he was explaining it. Because once they did get through, he said it was another gentleman that got on and was like, well, what are you doing here? Because that's how, all the buses was supposed to have been gone from up out of that loop. They wasn't supposed to be there because of the situation with the police having shit blocked off. I know the elder was saying that it took him 2.5 hours, damn near 3 hours to get home. But the driver, the person that got on there last and told her, hey, you need to get out of here, he gave her directions as to what to do, which streets to take. The elder, he was familiar with all the streets because he's basically telling her what to do. She's not even listening to him, but she ended up doing the first couple of streets, I think, and she missed the main street that, they had told her to come back down towards, I think, the riverfront or something like that. But she missed that street, and everybody looking on the bus like, hey, you missed that street. And, the elder, if I'm not mistaken, he mentioned it and was telling her, okay, well, you go this way. You can go underneath this viaduct or whatever. But she was just like, I'm not doing that. I'm not, whatever. But it just, what the elder was going into was that she wasn't fit for that job, and she wasn't supposed to be in that role to begin with. And he went into what I'm gonna go into as well, because I got a couple of stories lined up. Now, this story right here, this actually happened in Chicago. This police officer, they ain't been talking about this no more neither. Crystal Rivera, police officer 36, killed by her partner in friendly fire shooting. She lost her life. So I was trying to wait to see if there was going to be information on this partner of hers, like whether this was a female part. Anyway, they running down Jake. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. They may have some new details on this, but I know they've been showing this guy right here. Let's go into it. This is the guy they was chasing. So they got into an apartment. Once they got into the apartment, supposedly it was somebody in there with a rifle, I guess, pointed at them. And they're not, I haven't gotten it up on any, too much more of the story like that, because I was, had been checking on it. But says she was unintentionally shot and killed by another officer during the foot chase on Chicago's South Side. The suspect, Adrian Rucker, allegedly pointed an AR-style pistol at police inside of Chapman. Even though he had the rifle, he wasn't the one he didn't even take no shots. It was her partner that killed her, man. So, but they put this guy on blast, you know what I'm saying? They put him on spot, because from my understanding, it was somebody that was already in the apartment. I don't know, maybe, from the blast through the door, Might have scared them. They could have just grabbed the rifle. See, they didn't go all off into, you know, a lot of the details. But I wanted to just, you know, kind of find out, okay, well, who was a partner? They still not saying who her partner was, whether the partner was male or female, how old the partner was, you know, how long they had been on the force. But, you know, this lady right here, when I was reading through her story, you know, she had a daughter. She was single with a daughter. And as you can see, really nice looking lady. But, you know, they were showing some of the pictures of her and stuff, like she was into fashion and stuff like that. So they just pretty much showing you her in her uniform. Oh, here's a picture of her right here. Now, why the fuck is you out here chasing niggas in a police uniform? I never even seen, you know, like no fashion. But when I was reading the article, they were saying like how she was into fashion. She was really, yeah, as you can see, she's a pretty lady. And you out here, I think she was, what did it say, 36 or something, like whatever the age was. But she had a little young daughter. It didn't mention no husband. You know, it mentioned her, I think it was her mother, auntie or something to that extent. But anyway, one story, right? So let me just grab the scripture that the elder had grabbed, and I'm going to bring up another article. As a matter of fact, the little girl, her daughter, said that her mom extra hugged her, like hugged her really, really hard that morning before she left out for the shift, as if she knew she was going to die. And she said that her mom told her, well, you know, whatever happens, you know, if anything happens, whatever, I'll always be with, you know, that kind of talk or whatever. But the daughter was basically saying, it was like, you know, pretty much, it was kind of like she was almost knowing that she was going to get the fuck up out of here. But anyway, let me get what the elder had grabbed earlier. We bring the scripture out all the time, man. Also like it, that's not what I want. 1 Timothy 2:11. It says, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. And that's one of the scriptures that the elder brought out this morning, because this lady, the way he was explaining the story, he was like, man, hey, look, hey, she could have got them all fucked up, because she didn't follow none of the directions. She was just, you know, she was just not fit for the job. Like, basically, you know, a lot of these bus drivers these days, which the elder was going into as well, a lot of them are women now. You know, back in the days, man, that was men jobs. You know what I'm saying? You know, because I know here in Detroit, shit, motherfuckers is beating up on drivers. They punching drivers in the face and shit. Jumping on the bus, punching them in the face, jumping back off. They fighting with the driver. People been getting shot on the buses. That's not, no. And you dealing with a bunch of crazies. You driving from west side to east side, you know. And then E be having attitudes too. That's not the job for E. You have to be very courteous when you're driving a damn bus, man. And even when you're courteous, you still have to be on lookout. That's a dangerous job. I used to ride the bus. That's not a, you know, motherfuckers. I can remember it used to be on the bus, and it used to be a one spot that we used to always ride through. Motherfuckers would be throwing bricks through the windows. I'm not sure if they were pissed, you know what I'm saying, with that driver, or it was just some motherfuckers just out on the block just messing around, you know. But nah, man, you know, people done got fucked up on them buses, man. That's not a job for a woman. She's got a damn attitude, and you get on there, I just crazy. Anyway, but these women are not supposed to usurp authority over the men. Look at this lady, man. She was, you know, it says she was into a few different things. And you can clearly see, yeah, she probably, whatever man she was with, or baby daddy, probably giving that boy hell. Now, again, I haven't seen anything else on this story, but here's another one, though. This one was another one. I'm not going to keep this long. Because with these protests and stuff like that, this one right here kind of made me think of, you know, the protests as far as like, okay, when they sent the National Guard out, did they send up, how many women went with them? And what are you going to do when this tear gas and shit is going off and, you know, shit really breaks loose? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you really going to do? You know what I'm saying? Say it again? No, I haven't seen him today. I didn't see him yesterday neither, but the little boy across the street said that the dog was on his porch. Somebody mentioned him again? That's a lock you, y'all. Because I was thinking it was somebody's dog down this way. Because he came, when I pulled around the corner like 2 days ago, he was sitting at this house right here. Yeah, but I'm thinking that I thought it was somebody. It's a guy down the street right there with a bigger fence. He had some puppies, and they got about the size of that dog. I was thinking that maybe that was one of his because that's where he came from, off that end. So yep. It's like, yeah, they've been looking for this dog for a couple of days, man. Hey, well, at least they out here. At least we know the city trying to work. Because motherfuckers been getting fucked up with these pit bulls. And guess what? That's the spirit. 2 women was in that animal control truck. You heard them. I know you probably heard them. Two so-called white women, or appeared to be, had a bunch of damn tattoos on them. Asking about this damn big-ass pit bull and shit. But I wasn't fucking around because there was a guy down the street got mauled up and got killed or whatever. You know what I'm saying? About 3 of them. So when I see them now, it's like, I don't even deal. It's kind of hard, because you want to go out for little walks and, maybe ride the bike or something like that. I don't do none of that shit no more. Because them dogs been fucking people up. Anyway, though, but this is the next article that I wanted to get into. It says, missing 21-year-old Navy sailor found dead. Another sailor in custody. So look at this little pretty motherfucker, man. Let's see here. Well, of course, they're going to play commercials. I didn't even go through that portion of it at first, but we really don't have to, go through, because this is her right here. And you can clearly see, she looks like Northern Kingdom. She kind of got a Northern Kingdom name. Angelina Resendez. Yeah, I think she's Northern Kingdom, man. But anyway, what is she doing in the fucking, and matter of fact, it says that she's into... She was pretty much like a cook on but you already know, man. They at sea. Why are you on a damn boat with all these men?
A missing Navy sailor has been found dead, and now another sailor is held in confinement. This morning, a mystery in Virginia after a sailor missing from the U.S. naval base in Norfolk was found dead. Investigators finding the body of 21-year-old Angelina Resendez in a wooded area less than 10 miles from her barracks. She had not been seen since May 29th. NCIS says a fellow Navy sailor has been placed in pre-trial confinement in connection with her death. Resendez's family demanding answers.
These kids come up missing and nobody really says anything, right? They're people that are in charge, they're not important.
Her mother claims she was not notified of her daughter's disappearance through official military channels, instead finding out unofficially and through media coverage. She says her daughter's colleagues, friends, and even authorities knew she was missing, but the response was minimal. And after her friends filed a missing persons report when her commander would not, they showed little compassion or understanding. Back in 2020, 20-year-old Vanessa Guillen was murdered by a fellow Army soldier at what was then known as Fort Hood. Her family pushed for reforms in the Army, ultimately leading to the passing of the I.M. Vanessa Guillen Act, helping revamp how military investigations are conducted. As for Resendez, her family says they remain unwavering in their pursuit of justice. Officials say charges against the other sailor are pending.
Okay, so you see what it is?
This morning, a mystery in Virginia.
Another little pretty. What are you doing in the military? You know why they're able to do that? Because Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is giving them that ability to gad abroad. And see, Esau, he don't have no respect for his own women. Because they be fucking them so-called white women up in the military. But when it comes to you, Jake, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American women, they have a extra type of disrespect for you. They don't have no respect for you at all because they just looking down on you. You just a piece of box to them. Now, they're not saying that she was sexually assaulted or any of that stuff like that, but you're just thinking like, okay, now, what are you doing there? and who did you see on the news? You always see they mama. You don't never see no dad. You don't never see no granddad. You don't never see no guy cousins, no uncles, no none of that shit. It's always that woman sitting on the news. My daughter this, my daughter that. So, I mean, we're definitely under those curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28 as far as the family break. But living in Esau's kingdom, Esau gave her the ability to do this right here. Or, I mean, of course, how about Shemel was shy, but Esau is the hammer of this planet, man. Oh, they done pulled back up. I guess the block club leader called the city. He was a big ass dog though. One guy was walking by. He was just sitting there. I thought he might have been friendly, but one guy was walking up the sidewalk and shit, and he jumped the fuck up and got burly on him and went to barking hard as hell. And, you know, guy ended up picking up a big ass stick. But yeah, but these two women, man, that's about to, I wish I could show y'all. Two little bitty ass women about to try and grab up this pit bull. I guess they got training, they got the nets and stuff. And this the second, this going on the third day. It's a big ass dog. I mean, I know it's got to be somebody's dog because he's, you know, it's not like he's a straggler. He's too damn healthy for that. But anyway, man, that's the spirit though that these women roll right back by. Like, what if that dog? Come on, bro. Like, how did you even get that job? Animal control, bro. Two chicks. Matter of fact, yesterday when I seen the truck, it was a Eve in the truck, same truck. But I think it was a guy that was driving with her. Anyway, at least they out here looking, because I've never seen all the stray dogs I've ever seen running through the hood. I've never seen fucking animal control ever in my life. Not in our hoods. Anyway, but yeah, this a sad story. But see, it says she was a culinary specialist assigned to the USS James E. Williams. Okay, well, if you like to cook, why you weren't cooking for your husband? Why you didn't want, she's not a bad looking lady. Like, goddamn, you couldn't have pulled, if somebody went on you. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of guys that liked her too. Maybe not guys that was up to her standards. She could have got married, had children, and all them culinary skills, them cooking skills. You could have been doing that for your family, man. Here you go on a damn boat. You know what I'm saying? With a bunch of goddamn heathen, thirsty as hell, because you know they ain't getting no box on there. And that's probably the reason why, because that shit is pretty much about like prison, man. That's probably the reason why you have so many of those homosexual relationships on those boats, man, because you stuck on there, like, what the fuck is, why would you be on there with a bunch of thirsty ass horny dudes, man? And they not saying how I'm willing to bet you it's probably some dude that she's dealing with on there. Probably snatched her ass up, lured her somewhere. And she might be so-called Native American Indian. She could be a Gadite or something. But anyway, that's pretty much about it, man. I'm not going to even, I don't know, I didn't check the comments. Somebody says, as a woman, this is the reason I never wanted to serve in the military armed forces. I'm 45, and I heard way back then how women were treated. Raped, beaten, murdered, racism, sexism. Yeah, it's not a spot for you. Somebody says, I was in, my sister was in, I had aunts and cousins go in, my husband had aunts and cousins go in, I had a few friends go in, and we never had this happen to us or seen it happen to anyone. Well, they ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Just because you made it through. They don't have anything. This is not a job for women, man. It's just not. It's not. Here you go. Why would I want a woman police officer partner? It's like, let me go back to this one chick there. I still got that picture up. Why would I want, let me see. Let me go back. Like, it's this one video that was circulating at one time with this woman. It was two police officers. One guy was trying to wrestle down this man, and the woman was just standing there. She was scared as shit. She didn't get involved. She just like, stop, sir. Stop. And she actually, I think she shot him because she didn't know what to do. They already had him on the ground, had his hands behind his back, was handcuffing him. It was something that had happened, something she done, and he got a little irate and shit, but she wasn't helping that guy out, man. Let's see. Yeah, that picture ain't. Well, y'all seen the little picture of her. Ain't no god. Here it is right here. Ain't no goddamn way you about to be getting in no squad car with me, and you about to be my partner and holding me down. Ain't no way. No. Hell to the no. No, bro. That don't even make no sense. I wouldn't feel safe in a situation like that. You're not gonna be of no help. And then, in a situation that could be handled by two men, end up in a death, because I've seen this video circulating where women police officers, they had their guns snatched, their handcuffs and shit snatched. I done seen videos of men whooping their ass. And then other men, regular civilians, got to stop their vehicles and pull over and try and help get this motherfucker off her ass. I've seen videos like that. Body cam footage of them getting fucked up. They get all frantic. See, it's all good while you just riding a squad car. Here you go. You get that alert over the radio that there's a shooting, and you rolling up with her. Not to say that she couldn't have pulled her gun, and she might have been expert at the damn range, but still, in a physical battle, somebody like this right here, you can see she's not that big. In a physical battle, this lady should have been walking a runway. If anything, hell, she was just gonna be out here and be carnal as fuck. Anyway, though, let me end out, man. I just kind of seen this, and a couple of things just kind of popped up, but let me get this one that I was quoting in Sirach chapter 25 and verse 25. It says, "Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad." And that's the what's going on. Our women have that ability to just, I'm gonna go and do this. I'm gonna, I just feel like a burger and fries. It's 10 o'clock at night, and she's just in a drive-through. Matter of fact, she's stopping at the ATM machine. All in the dark. She ain't even looking around. She on the phone. FaceTiming somebody. Not even aware of her surroundings. Just the women are just, I'm telling you, man. A man will be like, say for instance, well, I guess if she's just cooking on the boat, because I'm not sure exactly what you would be doing other than cooking. Like what you about to go out to, to battle, what you about to, like what are you about to do as far as a woman being in the military? But this is Esau's kingdom. There was no women in the Israelite military, man, and in the days of King. Did you think some women was running along with King David? Any of the armies of Israel back in the days? You think that? Like these Israelis over there. Those Israelis over in Israel, man, they be having some pretty little motherfuckers in their military. It's mandatory, I think, that you serve 2 years over there. Male or female, I think by the time, after you get out of high school, some silly shit. But them women shouldn't be in that military, man. Hell, a lot of them dudes over there frail as hell and effeminate as hell. Here you go, you joining a military that'll allow a guy to come in and get a whole damn sex change. You ought to know to not, you should know to stay away from some shit like that in general. Anyway, man, let me end out there, man. So like it for the language. Hey, I pray that this lesson was edifying. Hey, you women, the things that's about to come down the pipe in these last days, you're not going to want to have nothing to do with anything that's got to do with anything tactical. Except for being in your house and barricading yourself in and trying to protect yourself and your children to the best of your ability. Especially to you ones that don't have no man. Because it's at a point now where men don't even want to deal with you American women like that. But being out on these streets, I was out and about today. It's warm now, it's hot, and I'm just the women just out here. Think I seen more women than men. Women just out here walking through the park with them short ass shorts on, just out here bouncing ass. But the first thing came to my mind is that shit right there about to stop soon. That shit is about to stop. When all shit hits the fans, you are not going to want to be shown. Matter of fact, y'all going to be having on hoodies and shit. Y'all going to be trying to cover your goddamn heads. Y'all not going to want to be seen as women. That shit is going to be, that woman just, just all that. You going to try and cover up every inch of your goddamn body in that day. Last thing you're going to want is for somebody, that's a chick. Grab her. Trust me, you ain't going to want no parts of that shit in them days. And that's coming soon. That's coming down the pipe soon, man. All these women out here that's in these protests and shit. The fuck y'all doing out on these streets, man? Just out here, all that shit is about to be over with, bro. Soon. Trust me. So, with that, I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Inshallah and a bubble ball.